There's a real movement occurring. It's helping kids, it's growing culture in communities.
This is a tremendously important trend of young people learning their languages, learning their past, and then doing better in school.
You would be shocked at how many kids you're hearing run around speaking the native language.
You do not know how much I am proud to be Ojibwe. It's amazing and awesome.
This works, and we understand at the legislative level in the federal government that this works, and we have a good bipartisan group of trying to make sure that we replicate this across the country, because this is a model that supports children and supports communities.
There is a sense of pride, a sense of shared culture, a sense of respect. It has empowered me, really, to remember that the significance of language, one's native language, is something that needs to be promoted.
We want our kids to learn their language, we want those traditions, and they'll be healthier human beings by knowing their culture and language.
It's true to say that it's a success in Hawaii culturally, but it's also a success academically. I think maybe 10 years ago the thinking used to be that in an academic setting you sort of had to make a binary choice between teaching a native language and performance, metrics, testing well, and all the rest of it. And what we have found out over a period of time is that kids in immersion actually do better. So you don't have to make this false choice between teaching kids in their own culture and language and having them be high achievers. It turns out that's the best strategy to have kids succeed in the modern world.
There is a theory, which I think makes a lot of sense, that when you learn two languages and you have to use two languages, you have to exercise a lot of cognitive control in order to manage those two languages. That kind of cognitive control spreads into other areas of cognitive functioning, so that they're often better at academic tasks because they have more cognitive control. What we've learned is that you really have to provide support for the minority language. So even though your goal in the long run is a balanced bilingualism, the way that you achieve that is by giving as much and even more support for the less widely supported language as you can, so that you build up competence in that language to prevent English from swamping it.
I don't think that being bilingual is an excuse to not excel in education. I'm one of the top students in my class, and I've learned that being bilingual takes more knowledge than to speak one language.
Ray looks back on his years at Ayaprun with gratitude for his solid foundation of fluency and academic preparation for his future aspirations as an engineer. It was inspiring for us from Hawaii to see these Native youth excelling in all areas of life.
What has happened across the country with Native American tribes and with Alaska Native communities is that they've started to understand how much of an example Hawaii is for the rest of the world.
We see that Pūnana Leo and their success saying, this is what's possible. This is what you're investing in. These are the results that happen. You could kind of see that. That's a sense of pride for our people.
This model, it is bringing educated people back to impoverished rural areas. People are going to college to become teachers. They have degrees, they're professional, they have children who are Anishinaabe. They're bringing earning capacity as well. So economically, this is beneficial for an area that's really high poverty otherwise. We all believe the language has its own power. It has the power to bring the people here who are going to take care of it and will help it to continue. Who else is going to speak our languages or protect our languages if we don't? The language is a natural resource, just like our water, our trees, our land, and we are obligated to protect it.
Most everybody up here believes in federal funding for things like the national park system, for things like historic sites and historic preservation. We know there's a history and a heritage to the country that needs to be preserved and passed on. And we need to look at native languages exactly the same way. They ought to have a future, not just a past.